Greetings, this is the Critter Podcast, and I'm Callie Cross. Today's episode is about how tiny quantum fluctuations might give birth to endless parallel universes. Right now, as you're listening to these words, there might be another version of you listening too, and another who turned this off, and another who never discovered this podcast at all. And here's the thing that keeps physicists up at night. All of those versions might be equally real. Not in some metaphorical sense. Actually real. Living actual lives in actual universes that exist right now. This is the multiverse, where the question isn't whether parallel universes exist, but how many types there are. And the answer? It's weirder than any science fiction ever imagined. Let me paint you a picture. You're standing in your kitchen deciding whether to make coffee. Simple choice, right? But quantum mechanics, the most precisely tested theory in all of physics, suggests something absolutely wild. The universe might actually split at that moment. One branch where you make coffee, another where you don't. Both versions of you continue existing, completely unaware of each other, each experiencing their reality as the only reality. And this isn't happening just with your coffee decision. It's happening with every particle interaction, everywhere, constantly. We're talking roughly 10 to the 50th power times per second. That's a 1 with 50 zeros after it. The universe splitting and splitting and splitting, creating an infinite tree of possibilities where every outcome that can happen does happen. But that's just one type of multiverse. Scientists have actually identified 4 distinct categories, each emerging from different areas of proven physics. And I'm not talking about wild speculation here. These ideas come from taking our most successful scientific theories and following them to their logical conclusions, even when those conclusions make our brains hurt. The first type emerges from something almost stupidly simple. What if space just goes on forever? I mean truly infinite. Not just really big, but actually endless. Now here's where it gets interesting. In infinite space, the laws of probability do something strange. Every possible arrangement of matter must eventually repeat. It's pure mathematics. If you shuffle a deck of cards infinite times, you'll get every possible arrangement, including the same arrangement multiple times. The same logic applies to atoms and galaxies. Somewhere out there, unimaginably far away, there's another Earth, another you. The math says your nearest identical copy could be 10 to the power of 10 to the 29th meters away. That's not a typo. It's a number so large that if you wrote it out, the zeros alone would fill entire libraries. Our observable universe is tiny by comparison. The second type comes from cosmic inflation, which might be the most successful theory in cosmology. Right after the Big Bang, space itself expanded faster than light. We've measured the afterglow of this event with incredible precision. But here's the twist. Inflation might not have stopped everywhere at once. Think of it like boiling water. Bubbles form, expand, pop into being as distinct spaces. Our entire universe, everything we can see, might be just one bubble where inflation stopped. But beyond our cosmic horizon, inflation continues, constantly spawning new bubble universes. Each one is a complete cosmos with its own Big Bang, its own galaxies, potentially its own laws of physics. And this process never ends. New universes being born right now, forever.
My name is Tom Sachs. I'm an artist in New York City. For nearly 2 decades, I have been collaborating with Nike.
Nike running is for runners, Nike basketball is for basketball, Nike craft is for everyone else.
Then there's the quantum one, and this is where it gets really mind-bending. You've probably heard of Schrödinger's cat, the thought experiment where a cat is supposedly both alive and dead until you open the box. Most people think that's just about not knowing which it is. But the math of quantum mechanics actually says the cat exists in both states simultaneously. It's not that we don't know, it's that both are real until measurement collapses the possibilities into one outcome. But here's the question that haunted a graduate student decades ago. Where do the other possibilities go? His answer, which his professors absolutely hated, was simple and shocking. They don't go anywhere. They continue existing in parallel branches of reality. Every quantum measurement doesn't eliminate possibilities, it realizes all of them in separate, equally real branches. Let me make this personal. Every major decision you've agonized over, every path you didn't take, might actually have been taken by another version of you. That job you turned down, another you accepted it. That person you never called back, another you married them. That city you almost moved to, another you is living there right now. If the many worlds interpretation is correct, then the road not taken is a misleading concept. All roads are taken. You're not one person living one life. You're a constantly branching tree of possibilities, and every branch is as real as the one you're experiencing right now. The fourth type gets even stranger. It suggests that every mathematically consistent universe actually exists. Not just different arrangements of atoms or different quantum outcomes, but universes with completely different laws of physics, different numbers of dimensions, different fundamental constants. Every possible rulebook for reality plays out somewhere. This is the most philosophical type, and honestly, the most speculative. But it comes from a deep question. Why these laws of physics? Why these constants? If mathematics is discovering truth rather than inventing it, then maybe every mathematical truth corresponds to an actual existing reality. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds absolutely insane. How can we call this science if we can't visit these universes or even observe them? And that's actually the big controversy. Some physicists think the multiverse is inevitable, a logical consequence of theories we know work. Others argue that if you can't test it, it's philosophy, not physics. The debates at conferences get genuinely heated. But here's what both sides agree on. The mathematics is solid. The theories that predict multiverses, quantum mechanics, and cosmic inflation are the same theories that successfully predict everything else we observe. You can't cherry-pick the parts you like and ignore the parts that seem weird. And this solves real problems, like why our universe has exactly the right properties for life to exist. Change the mass of an electron by 1% and chemistry doesn't work. Change the strength of gravity slightly and stars can't form. The constants of nature seem impossibly fine-tuned. But if all possible universes exist, there's no mystery. We necessarily find ourselves in one that allows observers. The universes without the right properties exist too. They're just empty. Think about what this means for consciousness and identity. You feel like one continuous person experiencing one timeline. But you might be more like a single frame in an infinite film, one path through a garden of forking realities. Every version of you experiences their own life as the only life, completely unaware of the splitting. And if quantum branching is real, you're creating new universes just by existing. Every atom in your body makes measurements that fork reality. You're not traveling through time. You're traveling through an ever-branching tree of possibilities.
Building a new product? Temez Labs takes you from napkin sketch to the App Store. Trusted by Fortune 500s for quality, security, and speed. Book your free strategy session at temez.ai.
The really wild part? We might never know for sure. Type 1 universes are beyond our cosmic horizon, separated by space expanding faster than light can cross it. We can't see them by definition. Bubble universes can't interact with ours. Quantum branches split irreversibly. You can't jump between them or communicate across them. They're forever beyond reach. Yet the math that puts them there is the same math that predicted black holes before we found them, that predicted antimatter before we created it, that predicted the cosmic microwave background before we detected it. Some scientists think we might find indirect evidence. Bubble universes could collide, leaving bruises in the cosmic microwave background. Some researchers claim they found hints of these collisions, though it's controversial. Quantum computers might reveal something about how superposition works at larger scales. Future telescopes might measure the geometry of space precisely enough to confirm or rule out infinite space. The evidence might always be indirect, like footprints suggesting an animal we never see directly. And maybe that's okay. Maybe some truths about reality are beyond direct observation, but still logically necessary. We don't observe the inside of black holes, but we're pretty confident about what's there. We can't watch evolution happening over millions of years, but the evidence is overwhelming. The multiverse might be similar, something we infer from what we can measure rather than something we directly experience. Here's what gets me, though. If every possibility is realized somewhere, does choice matter? I think it does. Your choices create your experienced reality, which is the only reality you'll ever know. The fact that other versions make different choices doesn't diminish your experience. You're still responsible for the branch you create. But it's also humbling. You're one note in an infinite cosmic symphony, one thread in a tapestry beyond comprehension. And maybe there's something beautiful in that. Maybe existence is fundamentally generous, not creating one universe, but infinite possibilities. Not one story, but every story simultaneously. We are conscious observers in one branch of infinite possibility, asking questions about the nature of reality itself. Our brains, assembled from stardust over billions of years, capable of pondering parallel universes we can never visit. If the multiverse exists, then nothing is ever truly lost. Every possibility plays out somewhere. Every path is taken. Every version of history unfolds. Reality is vastly bigger, stranger, and more abundant than we ever imagined. And you, right now, listening to this, are part of that infinite cosmic story. One voice in an endless chorus, one branch in an eternal tree. One universe experiencing itself. And that might be the most profound thing of all. Thanks for listening to the Critter Podcast with me, Callie Cross. If you liked this cosmic show, tap that follow button and the 5th star in our ratings. And remember, the truth is out there.
Grep News. Thomas.